Well, this is the cover of Owari Temari, a book by Ozaki Sensei, and Glenna, Kathy, and I, Barb, just got back from Tokyo. And Ozaki Sensei shared with us a really cool method to wrap the guidelines on a C10. It's on page 22 and 23 of this book. So now I'm going to move over here, and Kathy's going to show you how to do it.
Okay, so I basically have 12 points here on the ball.
I'm going to move that book out of the way a little bit still.
Okay.
Slide that over there. Okay.
And I use the V-ruler to get a pretty decent measurement, but I could be off as much as 2 millimeters. So I'm not too concerned about it because I think I can make the adjustments later as I work these guidelines in. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go right into one of the pins and come out the side somewhere.
Kathy has the thread attached to the spool. This is just pearl cotton she's using because it shows up better. So she went down in at a pin, came up a couple inches away. Gonna tie just a single small knot in the end of the thread. Of course, she took the needle off the thread first.
Right.
Gonna clip the tail short. And tug on the thread so it just pops down under the thread wrap. Okay. Now she's going to start wrapping, and not next to a pin.
Oh,
she's going to
that's
start right between two. You just eyeball it.
That's right.
Between two pins, and essentially going to create a simple 10 division. So doing 5 wraps here. There's 1. This is 2. Beginning 3, going between 2 pins. That completes 3. 4.
Coming up on 5 here.
Now if you keep wrapping on up, that would complete 5, but we're going to back up to that last pin and make that last pin our new pivot point.
Right.
So just pivot around it.
Here. Oh, this time I'm going
between
in between.
2, right.
Not here, but
right.
in between this
those
one
2.
and this one. Yeah.
I'm going to do 4 4 wraps around the ball this time. That's 1, did a pivot. 2, 3, and the same thing as before. When you come back up to that first pivot pin, you're not going to complete it. You're going to back up. That pin will be your next pivot point, and you're going to do 3 wraps around the ball this time.
You can see the triangles almost formed except for this side here.
Yep.
That's 1. 2. Last wrap on this.
Okay, that would complete it, but you want to back up to that last pin in that
Go all the way back here. And this time we're going to do quite a bit of rotation. Oh, well, no, actually, we go here.
Go to there.
Yeah.
We're going to do 2 wraps this time, is that right?
2 wraps.
2 wraps this time.
Right. 1. Now I'm going to cross over this way.
Now make the second wrap of this pin. Once again, don't complete it. Back up.
That's 2. I'm going to come all the way back to the next pin, which is all the way to here. Big
Swing
pivot
it all the way
here.
around, big pivot, and do 1 full wrap around the ball.
Okay. So at this point, we still have some guidelines that need to go in, but what we're going to do is we're going to tack as we complete those guidelines. I'm going to wrap around here 1.5 times. I'm going to cut the thread and then I'm going to grab my needle, unwrap again, and I'm going to thread the needle. And at this point, this thread that's on the needle, we're going to count to the right from it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And just slip it under the pearl cotton. Don't catch a thread wrap. Slip it right under there. And pull it back. What you did is you slipped it under the bottommost thread of all those in the intersection, so it holds it in place.
Right. So now I tighten it up, and where there's a gap where the guideline's missing, which would be right in there, I'm going to follow it straight out to the next pin. And once again, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't grab any threads there except for the guideline. Tighten close to the pin. Find that empty space. And go to the next one. One, 2, 3, 4.
Every time you do this, that should be the bottommost thread at the intersection.
And the empty space.
Mm-hmm.
Next pin. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go around. And back to the beginning pole that we started with. And this time I'm just going to go under here. I can grab a few threads. Do another whip here just to secure it.
You come up a few inches away, and
then you can zigzag a few more to secure it and cut it off. Now what that does is, of course, this one will be very secure because it's in the thread, but the rest of these you can make some interesting adjustments to them.
when you pull the pin up, the threads don't fall out. They don't flop off.
Right. If you wanted to, we can change the center of this pentagon by just working the threads down a little bit.
Yep, pull that intersection over wherever you want. And you can stitch a kiku with long legs on one side and short legs on the other side.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep working it with your needle, and that changes the center. So you have a kind of an interesting look to that.
So all of the intersections except that first one are free, and you can adjust them.
Right. And now is the good time too to just sort of check your threads,
And check
line
your
them up.
intersections,
This
your
one's
shapes.
not quite the right way.
Right,
You
have
can
a look at your shapes. And Ozaki Sensei said that this is the way she likes to apply the guidelines. It saves thread and it's faster for her. So we're gonna try this out in the future.
Yeah,
Ah,
pretty cool.
Yep. Otsukare-sama deshita, Kathy-san. Sayonara.